behind me is the Harlem High School Jazz Band. And as you probably already figured out, we want you to know that you're among friends. We're not doing this for you or to you, we're doing this with you. And it's much more fun when you're here, when we're making the music, because we've had many, many nights of you not being here. We call it rehearsal, and this is better. They look better, they're paying better attention. And since we're among friends, let me introduce you to the people in the band. In our rhythm section, that's Alex playing drums. Is he waving? Huh? No, it's going to take too long if you do that. I'll just tell you their names. That's Alex, and Becca is playing bass, and this is Liz on piano. In our trombone section, wave, guys. Wave. On this side, that's Chris, and then Kyle, and Dylan, and Kevin, and that's Ethan at that end. That's enough. Here's our saxophone section. That's Erica, the only girl. This is Trevor and Kyle, and then Ryan right behind me. I'll move out of the way. This is Heatley, and that's Travis, and over there on the big horn is Jerry. Section. That's Josiah and Stephen and Nick and Paige and Em. Jump up, Em.
Because I will.
Thank you. The name of that tune was Birdland. I was thinking, well, it's kind of a new tune, and I remembered that I was like their age when that tune was a new tune. It's not a new tune at all. It's a really, really old tune. It was written by Joseph Zolino for his group Weather Report. It's been recorded by a whole bunch of people, fun to play. That was Ryan Pickerel and Steve Box on the solos on that one. So. And just some ground rules. You can clap anytime you want, or even more importantly, you can not clap anytime you want. Which really, that actually is more important, because if you just like the polite clapping, because you think you're being nice, then we never know what you like. We just do more of that. Like, I hated that. Next year you'll hear some more like that too. So if you hear something you really, really like, you can really, really clap. You give it up for these kids. And you know, these are our kids, whether they're your children or not. This is our community. And if that's not something you can get excited about, you can't get excited about too much stuff. One of the things that just has kept me young all these years is just being able to be around young people doing things that they really, really like to do, that are invested. It's just addictive to watch. You ever watch like a little kid or a teenager or even adult just happy about doing something? You can't be sad when you watch them, and being around these kids and being around them as they learn and we make music together never, ever, ever gets old. Another group that we have that is fun to watch, because whether or not they love what they do, they understand the importance of it. That's our student council. And we really could not do this thing just by ourselves. They're responsible for this and so much more around our school. So if you get a chance, as you stop by and grab a little hunk of cheese or brownie or something like that, tell them thank you as well. Next up, what is this? North of the Border. Okay, this is a tune I wrote. And it's just a Latin tune, and I was guest directing at a festival, and the guy said, you know, it'd be nice is if you wrote something, and it would be nice then you could write something. And then I realized why I got the job, because I would write something for free and they would put up with me as a conductor for the day. But I said, okay, where is this place? And he said, oh, you just drive towards Crystal Lake and take a left, and it's just north of the border. And I wrote that down, like, okay, just this before Google and Google Maps. I wrote that down, north of the border, and then I had to figure out a tune to write, and that was sitting on top, so that became the name of the tune. This is North of the Border. Show of hands, who knows the Count, or has heard of Count Basie? I'm not gonna, that's all I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask any more details. Count Basie was a famous band leader, very influential on the growth of big band jazz in the big band era. And he was famous for his ballads. Slower tunes, were not many notes, but what happened between the notes, the connections one to the other, becomes immensely important. Now, this is an original tune. It's not an authentic Basie ballad, but it's written very much as an homage in the Basie style, and it's called Nice and Easy. Thanks, Stephen. Nice and easy. We've come to the audience participation part of the program. Alex does a good job, but he just has the two hands, and we actually usually have somebody back there to help him who wasn't able to be with us tonight. So this could be anybody. If you'd like to play along, it'll be safe. You can come on up. Jake, yeah, you're good. Voice on. Jake, you look like a Cocker Spaniel when somebody faked the throw. Who else? I don't know about that, Jeremy. Oh yeah, come on up. Come on. Matt, did you come up? Go back there by Alex. He'll get you fixed up. Get your cameras ready. It's a YouTube moment. This could be spectacular. Any Santana fans? This is a tune he did. Another one I thought, this is pretty new, but it's very, very old. Like, this is called Oyo Como Va. See, normally when you see people playing, even the symphony orchestra and stuff, they're playing those little tiny instruments. They go, well, those look like toys. That's got to be easy. You'll never think that again now, will you? Apparently that's very, very hard. I don't think I saw that much concentration in your face when you guys were taking the ACT a couple weeks ago. I replaced the ACT for some of you. Oh, here's another big band tune. This I think is from the Les Brown, or Tommy, it's one of those guys. I'll look it up, I'll Google it when we take a break and I'll tell you later. The name of the tune is Opus 1, and it was actually written as a follow-up, as an answer to a tune that had become wildly popular as a dance tune, In the Mood, that you know. You probably have heard. And so somebody said, we need to do something like that. This happens in pop music. And he said, write something that's kind of like that. And this is kind of like that. I kind of like it better. This is Opus 1.
Thank you. We checked. Tommy Dorsey, Opus 1. It's Tommy Dorsey, the winner. If you had that in the pool, you can punch your card. We're going to take literally 5, just to give us enough time to go grab some more music and maybe grab a drink of water. This would be a terrific time to say thank you to the student council or finish up whatever is still on the table. We'll be back in just a few minutes.